Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XII. I'm the MysteriousJG. One thing I do want to show off real fast before we load a different slot here is I'm losing my mind. How do I... Oh, here we go. I was trying to figure out my menus. Licenses... Let's just buy a red spiral for Van. Each character can obtain 3 quickening licenses from those available on the board. Learn red spiral, yes. Van has learned a new mist ability. The character can now perform quickenings. Oh god, what is the line? The sensation of feeling is a quickening. Under the mist command in the battle menu, each character can learn up to 3 quickenings. So that's it. That's all that we get as far as explanation goes. So I will now load one where we're all souped up and powerful. And I think, let's see, 10:20, 6:49 p.m. Or, yeah. This one is just one I made in my little off-screening, or in my off-screen refighting that boss adventure. So this should be the correct one. And I'll know, there might be ones where I'm at different levels of grinding, but I should be fairly sure that this is the right one. And if I had an even better save slot than this, then oopsie. But, you see that I got a couple of hundred LP license points for everybody. And, those 3 little yellow marks over there indicate their mists, because I unlocked everything for everybody on their default board. I basically, with super high speed, grinding ability, and actually going off and fighting, being able to fight easy monsters with speed while watching Mystery Science Theater and Rift Tracks and stuff, I finally just unlocked everybody's. And I was really tempted to go through and grind like even more points so that when they got their second license board it would instantly be filled, but then I read somewhere that although experience apparently doesn't get shared by party members when grinding, license points do. So I will, it probably won't be too much work to get that second license board filled up once we do have it back. But yeah, although, obviously, I can't... This is the thing. Grinding for license points only does so much. Because I can't actually, I don't have a Kill 'em Weave shirt. I don't have Shepherd's Bolero or Wizard's Robes. I can now... Balthier will be able to wear them as soon as they become available in shops, but I don't have them. As soon as Scathe, Scourge, Flare, Shock, and Toxify all become available in shops, Balthier will be immediately qualified to use them, but they're not in shops yet. So it's like you kind of... Other than the fact now everybody's got all the battle lore and magic lore and a hit point plus that they can get in whatever their character class is. But, I might not even get the Zodiac Spear. I know in the original version of the game it was like super irritating to get and involved knowing it to avoid certain treasure chests. It was kind of bullshit, actually. You would really need to have the Brady Games guide or whatever and be following it precisely in order to get the Zodiac Spear and be able to play the Zodiac Spear story. You can tell, you see, Fran has more LP than anyone else. That's because her board took fewer LP points to clear. But yeah, everybody's got all their quickenings, because I researched what would be the best combo, like, just for these classes. I didn't do it for Bosch yet. I probably should. I just checked, well, here's the... I can see their current board, but then I was also like, here's the board that they're going to get as their second board, and then was able to make informed decisions about which would be the best quickening slots to use. For example, she got Thundara and Poison and stuff, because she used this Feral Strike, but I had to make sure first that the other 3 Feral Strikes weren't going to be really important on the other board. So there we go. But probably more significant for right now, since I don't have any of this gear that they're able to use. You can see, yeah, Bosch, who has no special crap, even at level 24, has less than 1,000 hit points, and Van currently has 3,000. So those hit point booster things, apparently, they dwindle in importance as you level up, but early in the game they can make a pretty big difference. It's probably more significant that everyone's at level 24 now than anything else, as far as I shouldn't be in too much trouble. I've also taken a lot of steps, and although I don't have the skill, I used a license to unlock it, but I haven't bought the technique yet. There is a, I don't know what it's called, 1,000 Needles is not it. There is a technique that's telekinesis? No. It's like the step mine thing that the Tonberries do in certain games. But there is a technique that at least one of the characters has unlocked where they do damage based. Here it is. Traveler. Deal damage based on total steps taken to all foes in range. Would you like your money in regular checks or traveler's checks? I'll take regular checks like everyone else, thank you very much, said the traveler. Traveler is I guess it's slightly more polite than tinker, but both are kind of vaguely pejorative terms for Irish gypsies, if I am understanding things right. So now, you might remember from like 2 videos ago, someone vaguely said something about, oh, there's a wounded traveler, can you go talk to my wife and help take care of him? And I put that off. But now we should probably deal with it. Yeah, Dantro. So here's Dantro's wife. Shh, quiet. We have a sick traveler sleeping inside. This is a tinker village. Collapse not far from the village. I worry it may already be too late. Dantro bade you bring this cactus flower. This should help. Yes, thank you. Take this for your trouble. You obtain a bunch of needles. Keep your voice low, please. Our guest is still sleeping inside. The cactus flower you brought should help with the fever, but not the pain. If I had some clam shells, I could make something else ease the pain. Do you think I could ask you to bring me some? Well, you can ask, I'm not going to. Clams live in the shallows along the banks of the river. The more you can bring me, the better. So this is like the stupidest fetch quest ever. Because this is where they're located. It's not even like a couple screens away or something. You get a clam shell. I don't know that it makes a difference. Like, I think I got 2 when goofing around off screen. And then now it seems like only 1 appeared at all. Here's another one. Oh, you know what we could do? We could leave the village. Because I gave her these 2 and she said, great, thanks, and just continued the quest. Now, we could leave the village. There's only one other zone I know of that's near the river. If we come back out here... Oh, and by the way, of course, the maps are all fully explored now in my off-screening. But we could head over here and see if there's clam shells over here. And maybe if we actually get more than 2, something happens. Or it could be that clam shells... Oh, no, they are here. Okay. So let's carefully explore and see if we can get the maximum number of clam shells and if that does something. And if we're really lucky, there's a rare monster that pops here if you don't kill any of the rabbits and you hang around here for a long enough amount of time. So that might pop up while we're looking for clam shells. But you gotta be waiting around for like 5 minutes though. Speaking of 5, I think that's 5 clam shells. That may be... Well, that's certainly enough. The only question in my mind is if something special happens if we bring the maximum number that's available. Well, we've already seen in this game that there's a guy who gives you a package to take to his friend outside of the city. You give it to him, there's some different dialogue, but you don't actually get any kind of in-game reward. Like, not even like, you got 2 potions, you got 50 gil. So, I'm not going to spend a whole lot more time looking for clam shells. And the fact I've been using glosses over a lot of this little stuff. Because I think if you talk to every single non-voice acted NPC in this game, you will lose your mind. This is so much extraneous dialogue. There's huge amounts of empty spaces. There comes a point where you're just going through, like, you know, monster-filled area after monster-filled area, desperate for any kind of dialogue between your party members. But there's no point where you really want to talk to all these people. You've brought the Semclam shells. Yes, yes, this should do nicely. Fortunately, I guess wounds continue to bleed. Neberlim can stanch the wound, but we seem to be out. I think Dantro took some with him when he left for the outpost. Would you mind bringing some back to the village? So now we gotta go talk to Dantro again, and I don't remember 100% where he is. But I think he's at the... Yeah, she said the outpost. I think that's the place where we go to... Oh, which reminds me, I need to... Did I not take on any more hunts? I thought I took on more hunts. Never mind. Alright. Let's go into turbo mode. I'm going to avoid doing a lot of this on screen in general, but at this point I got no reason not to go into turbo mode. You can see you really gather up large groups of wolves when you're in turbo mode sometimes. I think this takes me to the quote outpost. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah. So let's find Dantro. You are not Dantro. Parents have lifted the blockade on the road, but the sun, I think it's gotten to my father. We may need to rest here for a while. Chocobos don't come cheap, and with all these delays, I hope we can afford it. And we don't get to talk to her father, who's just kind of hanging out, suffering. Energetic child. It's pretty hot, huh? 100 gil if you want to rest. I don't think so, kid. Even though I've got 100,000 gil. From Ravenester, not by now. Stopped at this outpost for as long as I can remember. Whichever you're heading for, you're not far to go, my boy. Really, there's not much point in having an outpost here because they're just not that far apart. You Dantro, you are Dantro. Running errands for my wife, eh? That's pretty much my job. Neberlim, there should be some over there by those crates. Help yourself. Obtain a file of Neberlim. Thank you for all the fetch quests, game. It's really, really fun. If we knew who this desert traveler was, it might make some difference as to whether or not I felt like it's a good use of our time to do all these little fetch quests. But we don't know who the desert traveler is, and I don't remember. I don't know if they're a plot character or not. So let's just keep going. After this, I think I'm gonna ignore the rare beast. I'll show you the rare beasts in the bestiary that I fought, but I'm not going to go track them down again on camera. I'm just going to go back and advance the story. Otherwise, Jaxors will be like, you know, it's going back for the water blastia all over again. I don't care what the story said before. We don't care about this now. You have the Neberlim. Wonderful. A little of this spread over the wound shall stanch the bleeding. Now to do something about the poison. Will you please be willing to go to the other end of the world? Yeah, wow, really, it is. Some Veil Blossom Dew would quickly neutralize it. I hate to ask you for help yet again. Do you think you could gather some for me? You should find some blooming along the cliffs and the broken sands. I don't remember which is the broken sands, but I guess I'll find out in a moment. Hopefully these are all things that we can do here in this immediate area. Could this be the broken sands? That would be nice. No, this is the banks of the Nebra. this is the Broken Sands. No, this is the sand-swept maze. Looks like there should be an option for me to check on the map what these other areas that I've explored, but I'm not currently in, what they're named. This is the Yardang. Huh. No, they're not making this easy on us, are they? Hey man, Dantro, can you tell us where the Broken Sands are? Is it like the place that's right outside of Damascus, possibly? In a small out like ours, is the difference between life or death? Why hasn't the village sent out my replacement? I want to get back to my wife, my beautiful wife. She has so many errands that she probably needs me to do. This is the stepping. You know what, guys? If you'll bear with me for a second, I'm just going to quick Google the Broken Sands. Because otherwise we could spend quite a lot of time trying to figure this nonsense out. Do FF12 Broken Sands. Yeah, okay. You guys can just enjoy the music. What is the Broken Sands? I can't find it anywhere, and I defeated the Earth. I just got a really weird noise and made me worried that... It's got a really weird noise that made me worry that the recording is not still working. But the recording. Okay. Yeah, having all sorts of weird issues here, folks. Head one zone east and one zone north from the Earth Tyrant Slayer. I don't know where that is. To reach Esther Sands, Broken Sands. If nothing else, it does say that it's Dalmeska Esther Sand, so it's not some new zone, or it's not some zone outside of the Esther Sand, which means that if I visited, it's either one of those tiny little areas that I kind of missed along the way, or like the one that's right next to Barheim Passage, or it's someplace that we can't get to yet. And if I can't get there yet, then I figure, okay, that this is a plot line that we have to figure out later. I can live with that. I don't think I'll get penalized for not doing it the very first time we can. But there's not that many other places for me to go in the Esther Sand, so I'll just try all the ones that I can access. I've explored this whole place pretty thoroughly. In off-screen action. Just to reconfirm, this is the sand-swept maze. Oh, now I'm getting weird sound sync issues. Alright, I'm getting sound sync issues. I'm a little nervous about this recording. But we will see. Maybe this is the Broken Sands over here. This is passage entrance. I can still look around. They said it's near the cliffs. That was probably just me passing close to the save crystal. Yeah, I'll be curious if this video is coming out correctly because I I had a weird, like, Windows system noise sounding issue. And now nothing... I don't have, like, good sound sync in my headset with what I'm seeing on screen and what I'm hearing. So this video might have gone goofy. Once again, this is the banks of the Nebra. So if these turn out to be the Broken Sands, fine. But I don't think, it doesn't seem like it would be. Yeah, Murmuring Defile. So it kind of seems like we can't get to the Broken Sands yet. And again, what with the goofiness I'm having with my sound sync on my headset, I think my best course of action here is going to be to... It's a little too early to call it a video. I'm so sick of this. I'm going to have to put it together in 2 pieces. Hold on. Alright, I'm going to cobble this together from 2 pieces again. But hopefully the sound is back to being synced up. I won't really know until I encounter enemies. Ugh, pardon me. Yeah, oh, so I found out the Dantro's wife side quest, aka Desert Traveler. It looks like sound sync is back. Yeah, we can't complete it right now. We actually can't get to the location. We haven't advanced far enough in the plot to do this side quest, so they're basically messing with us. And after we get this, there's still one more item that we need to get, which involves, like, a high-end hunt. But basically, with all that, the reward is one of the items that gives you double LP, which I don't care about anymore now that I've realized that you can, like, level up at super speed by, grind at super speed with, like, fast forward mode. The other thing is that, I guess I get a minor spoiler now. You remember how we encountered one of those big monster dudes? Not the Bantha, but the other type? Outside of Barheim Passage saying, the boss had a key to get in, but I don't know where he is. Matter of fact, I think we just left that guy behind. I think it's where we just came from is where this guy's located. Yeah. Oh. Maybe not. I guess he was outside the other entrance. But at any rate, there's a guy who's like, oh, the boss is... I can't find him. I don't know where he went. It turns out he's the wounded traveler. So once we help him recover, he gives us the key to go back into that passage. I don't know that we need to do that. I don't know what good comes of that. I don't know if, like, there's an additional piece of dungeon that becomes available once we... If we go back there now, like, oh, there's a second level to this place that has high-level monsters. But, that's what that whole quest is about. The missing dude with the passage into the... whatever. The dungeon, the causeway, whatever it actually is. Later in the game, we will be allowed to deal with that. So what I want to do in the next few minutes is just get to the point where we're back in Dalmasca. Or I guess we're in Dalmasca. It's the country. We need to get back to Rabanastre. The one city in Dalmasca. So I don't even know if these... that little village of guys in the Giza Plain are considered Dalmascan citizens or not. Because that's the Giza Plain. It's not specifically called out as being Dalmasca. Did we just kill that dino? Oh, no, we didn't. Okay. I'm curious about this guy now. Because this thing won't attack us. But it's got 6,000 hit points and it's level 30. So we probably need to leave it alone. It's a higher level than we are and it's got thousands of hit points. It may no longer be able to one-hit us, but it certainly would have been able to one-hit us the first time we came out to this zone. So yeah, the plot will kick in as soon as we get back to Rabanastre. Although at this point, maybe that's a sensible place to start a new video. because that one was 20 minutes long. By the time I cobble these together, I'm at about 25 minutes, I think. I think the logical thing to do is just to... Well, no, it would be a little on the short side. Of course, I could sit here and wonder out loud on camera whether I should cut it off now, and that will get us there. I think we'll have this video be a little on the short side. And when we come back, we will actually return to Rabanastre and have a whole video where we're just like... First thing I do is go to Rabanastre and get the story going. I'm MysteriousJG. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time. Bye-bye.